bitch wanna come wet me, cause we
Yo, what's up homies? This is part 2 of why ALIENPARK is better than you. I've been analyzing one of his project files here, and I've been learning a lot more things than previously thought. So I want to show you guys all of these things I'm learning. It's over the stereo image, call and response flow, and just different cool techniques that he's doing that I think will really help you guys. The sub bass is going to be controlling everything. So if the sub bass is in C, then we can assume he's writing in C minor. C minor, these are the notes here. And the notes that he's using, he's basically using 1, 2, and 3. This is also D sharp, this E flat here. So keep that in mind. We're basically just using these 3 main notes in the scale. 1, 2, and 3. Bass. Supporting bass. Actually, that's the main bass. That's a little bit louder. We have 2 basses together right here. And that goes with the sub. And then we have a sustain bass, holding it down. Okay, so real quick, just keep in mind, all of these, this is a little drop group. It's separate from these vocals, and it's also separate from the drums. If we listen to the drums, it's just a kick clap, which is this. Listen to the clap. Very big reverb, layered with the kick. If you want to see the lefts on this, we can actually check to see how loud this one is as well. Coming about -9. I think it's always good we keep it in the single digits. This is good. -9. Nice. The imager, check it out. Kick is mono. Clap is a lot more wide. The clap still has a strong mono signal, if you see here, combined with wide. That's probably parallel processing, and then we have a hats here. The crash at the beginning, and then the very high frequency hi-hats, super high pitch, very nice and clean and crisp, pretty tight. Very important to keep the mix clean when we add those to the drums. And then if you see, this whole sidechain group is going to be using utility to sidechain. So when we are playing basses like these, this utility is affecting it. If we were to turn off the utility, listen to the bass. That's what the bass sounds like. Add the sidechain. So basically this sidechain is adding a lot of rhythm and groove, even though these basses are basically the exact same. Because if we turn the utility off, you can hear they're just doing the same thing. This is important. That sidechain is adding loads of rhythm. It sounds like there's 2 different basses going back and forth when it's just actually one. Amazing. So let's see how big that sidechain is. It's almost going halfway through the sample. See what I'm saying? I'm dropping it low. This sample right here is just 0.1. This is a quarter note right here. Quarter note in 150. The sidechain is like, so within the quarter note, we have 4 squares, and then one of the square is all the way down. And then the other square is ramped back up to normal. That's all the sidechain is, simply. Very, very clean, efficient, and adds so much rhythm. This is probably how he's doing it in his regular songs, you know? By the way, this project is from Sample Pack. If you want to go get his sample packs, just DM him in his Instagram, and he's selling them There's only a limited amount, but he's coming out with a number 3 as well. So you guys just talk to him and see what's up. The sustain. Okay, now before we get into the sustain, I want you guys to look at these basses and how tight they are. So feel this silence between each bass. That's really important on keeping it clean between each note. Even speeds it up over here with the faster bass. So look, still tight. ADSR is really important. Attack, decay, sustain, release. Make sure you look at these tails. This silence is doing a lot here. And it's with all the basses except the sustain. Now, let's look at how loud the sub is. We're going to check now the loudness of each of these basses and the wideness to see. Because the sub usually doesn't have to be too loud. We usually put the sub too loud. The sub is coming up at -9, -10, -9. So it's fine if you have your sub at -9. You know, you really should keep that like the minimum. And then we have this bass. Keep in mind that sub's playing C note. This next bass, it says D sharp, but it's pitched down -3. If you look at the picture here, if we go down -3 from D sharp, which is right here, D sharp, 1 step, 2 step, 3, we're back to C. So he pitched this D sharp down to C to get it into the right scale. So that is even showing us that he is in C minor. All these 3 basses right here are the C note. But this bass right here is a little bit quieter. So this bass is coming in at -7 lefs. So the supporting bass, -7 lefs. Main bass. Main bass is coming in hot, -4 lefs. So we have a really loud bass with a supporting loud bass. If you put those together, let's see how loud that is. Oh yeah, so that's -3 left. So that's basically the loudness of what your song should be. Their main basses are hit -3. That's good. You combine that with the bass. You have a nice, strong, clean signal. Okay, now the best part, the sustain. Sustain. The sustain's doing a lot, but it's only coming in at -12 lefts. So it's not even that loud, but if you listen to it in the mix, it sounds very prominent. So if we look at the sustain, we can see in the imager. This is very mono sustain. This is living in the middle, basically. Not really any sides to the sustain. Which makes sense, because it's not necessarily the main bass. It's not the loudest. This one's the loudest. And let's see what this is doing on the imager. Super wide. We got a super wide, sounds like a detuned saw bass. Combined with the supporting bass, which is also wide. So the 2 quarter note basses are wide. And then the sustain bass is turned down, but it fits in the mix very well and sounds loud because it's in the middle, not competing anything else. It's just in harmony with the sub, essentially. The sub is playing the same note, C. They're in different frequency spectrums, so they're able to sit very nicely together. I'm going to combine it with the 2 basses. Very nice, clean, full mix. Awesome. We have an easy vocal chant just to keep it going faster on every offbeat, which is the 0.4 and the 0.2. Keeping the energy levels high. Okay, that's sick. So then you look at the fake out here, he has a bass D sharp, -3.
1, 2, 3, 4.
So he got one of the samples pitched at -3 to C and used that as a fake out. Sounds low pitch. Now it's in the right key. Very smart move.
1, 2, 3, 4.
There's some effects happening here. So let's go ahead and check that out. It looks like there's a reverb on here. Dry and wet is being automated. This reverb is only coming on for automation.
1, 2, 3, 4.
His fake out basically is just going from the reverb 0 to 100 with a phone filter, like an EQ8 set at these settings, 230 and 1.16, so that it sounds like it's within a phone. This is regular. And then this is the fake out.
1, 2, 3, 4.
It combines that with the reverb for a very clean fake out. Very nice. Also, on this main drop thing, he is doing a little bit of mid-side EQ. The mid is doing nothing, and the side is being dipped a little bit here at 454 to clean up some of those side frequencies. So that's nice to see. And then he just has a G clip, flipping it at 0 on the drop group to make sure nothing gets past 0 decibels. So that's awesome to see as well. Then, so let's see, we do the fake out, 2-bar fake out, right? Leads into a 16-bar drop. Then when we get into the call and response, we hit it with a D note, which is actually pitched down to -2, which is C. So this call right here is going to be C. This is the start of the drop. This should be the home note, and that's exactly what it is. We have a neuro bass or a little growly, glitchy bass at the call here. So that C leads into all these other C notes. When we get to this fill, we fill it up with a pitch bend. When he pitch bends this up, he's actually pitch bending from +11, so he's going up and then bending down back to the original tone at 0. Very nice to see how he does this. He's doing it in tones as well, and he's doing it with the envelope and transposition, the clip here, in the audio clip. And then that's combined with this little bass fill. And then leads into this call. You see, the response is going for a long time. There's slight variations, which all this is just a reverse. You see, it's just like the same bass, but reversed and a little bit faded. Really cool. Different call right here compared to this. If you notice too, while we're in the drop, we have sub going the whole time, even with this. But at the beginning of the drop, there's no sub for this one. And there's no sub in the middle of the drop. So this fill has no sub. By the way, we're changing notes here. So it looks like, oh no, we're pitching down. So this one's on D, pitching down -2. If you see here, -2 goes down to C. So this fill is pitched correctly to C. This D sharp, though, is not on C. This is a D sharp note. So it looks like halfway through the drop, we actually do D sharp. If you look on the picture, D sharp is E flat, which is right here. This is our third. The third in our scale, as well as the fifth, sound very, very good in comparison to the other notes. So this is awesome to see. He's using the third as his call. And then we go back down to the regular C. We have another sustained bass here. It's doing the same thing, right? Holding it down mono. Another sustained bass. And this one is even more mono. So all the sustains he's doing are mono, and then his regular basses are wide.
Yeah.
Uh-oh. We just figured out the sauce, guys. There's about to be a billion alien parks. A billion alien parks today. No, 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 no. Let's see what notes this. -2. This is pitched to C. And if you listen here, we have a reverb that's actually being automated on the decay to do a cool fade out. That's how he fades it out. Really nice and clean. You hear that all the time. Now you know how to do it. This is basically it, man. There's a lot of cool things to see. Remember, if we look at the master, it's coming in very loud and appropriately at around -3. Let's check it. So like -3.9, -4 with a great image, great stereo image. So this is what we want to see. As you see too, there's only a couple different audio samples that he's using to achieve this. But if we study each one meticulously in their frequency spectrum, their stereo image, and we'll be able to figure out the secrets to get a clean, loud mix. It's not too muddy. It's not too loud. It's not ear piercing. It's about balance, you know? But we also want to make it heavy and high energy. So it's about the flow. It's about the call and response. While we look into these things, I hope you guys learned a lot. Ask any questions down below. Everything will be in the description. Patreon is also there. Stay fresh. Have a good night. Later.